Oh boy, listen to this. Rachel Levine, or is it Levine? I guess it's Levine. Tapped for health post. Could be first openly transgender federal official. Yeah, because that's what's most important in life, right? When it comes to choosing someone for a job, not their experience, not their merit, not their suitability for the position. Nah, whether or not they're a tranny. That's just great. Talk about a small pool to draw from. So this person is a doctor, clearly mentally ill, a mentally ill doctor. Oh, that's lovely. I'm on a virtue signal by hiring somebody who just 2 minutes ago was classified as mentally ill by the DSMV. That's great. A health official who's incredibly unhealthy, both mentally and physically. Wait till you get a look at this person. Talk about pig woman, frog lady, frog dude, lady wannabe. Oh my God. Hideous fat blob of a human being. Suffering from mental illness and may or may not be a post-op tranny. I'm not sure. I don't know if the story goes into that much detail. That's great. Yeah. Well, what kind of percentage of the population are trannies? Is it something like? It's not a percent. It's a fraction of a percent. It's like 0.3%. So 0.3% of the population identify as trans, which has gone up like 4 times in the past like 10 years. Isn't that crazy? Used to be like less than 0.1%. Yeah, I wonder why it went up so much. Couldn't be parents trying to virtue signal, pushing this on their kids. Couldn't be kids choosing to identify as such because they see the advantages and privileges of identifying as trans because boys are so hated and all that. No, it couldn't be anything like that. Couldn't be media and academia pushing this on kids. Nah. Couldn't be pushing boys to hate themselves because everything male is labeled as evil and toxic. Nah, couldn't have anything to do with the quadrupling of trannies existing in the past 10 years. Nah, couldn't have anything to do with that at all. No. Yeah, so this small fraction of the population. And by the way, how many of that 0.3% are doctors? I bet it's a smaller percentage than the general population as a whole because, you know, if you're mentally ill enough to think you're a dudette even though you're a dude, you probably don't have the mental stability to become a doctor. That's a hell of a small pool to draw from. There's no way you could find the most qualified person from that small a pool. It's impossible. It's statistically impossible. Well, we got 10 people here and 10,000 people there. I wonder what the odds are of finding the most qualified people in the pool of 10 as compared to the pool of 10,000. Well, you're going to find the most qualified person from the pool of 10,000. It's obvious. Oh, but no. That can't be. You'll obviously be able to find the most qualified person from the pool that has 10 people as opposed to the pool that has 10,000. Well, of course. Anyway, before I get into the story more, I'd like to ask those of you out there that like and appreciate the raw ripple nature of my content to please consider going and checking out my website, therealistphilosopher.com. That is therealistphilosopher.com. Click on that donate button at the top of the page if you'd like to support my work. You can donate Bitcoin, you can donate to my Cash App, or you can donate to my Patreon platform, which is a per-piece platform. I make about 8 pieces a month, so you donate $1, $8 a month, 50 cents, $4 a month. Any amount is greatly appreciated, and I need your continued support to continue making content. So go check that out, therealistphilosopher.com. I could really use your help. Okay, so back to the tranny doctor, who should know better and should know that a man can't be a woman. So as Biden's nominee for Assistant Secretary of Health, he has tapped Rachel Levine, who will be the first openly transgender federal official to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Oh, that's lovely. Dr. Rachel Levine will bring the steady leadership and essential expertise we need to get people through this pandemic. You mean like Fauci? Yeah, what a genius he is. He's wrong about everything. No matter their zip code, race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, identity, or disability. Well, if those things don't matter, then why did you have to hire a tranny? And why are you making such a big deal about it? Doesn't that contradict your whole virtue signaling bullshit about hiring the first transgender federal official? I mean, if these things don't matter, why does this matter? And meet the public health needs of our country in this critical moment and beyond, Biden said in a statement. She is a historic and deeply qualified choice. She, really? To help lead our administration's health efforts. Biden added about the pediatrician and former Pennsylvania physician general. Oh, so this person was the physician general for Pennsylvania? Okay. So we got a libtard running Pennsylvania. So a libtard was running Pennsylvania when this person was put into power. Oh my God. Our Secretary of Health, Dr. Levine, decided it would be good to allow COVID-positive patients to be returned to elder care facilities, said State Senator Doug Mastriano in May of 2020 during a rally calling for her to resign. Wow, that's a great choice. Pulled a Cuomo. That's great. So this person's an idiot. So this person is part of the establishment, probably a global elite shill. So let me explain something to you. The states that purposely put COVID patients into nursing homes with old people, they did this to ramp up the numbers of deaths, to create more hysteria, and thereby make it possible to pass more freedom-stealing laws to give the government more power. If you think it was an accident that COVID-infected patients were, for some arbitrary reason, put into nursing homes when they could have been put anywhere else, put into nursing homes with people who are the most likely to die from this illness, you're a fucking retard if you think it was just happenstance. No, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. And as a result of that horrible decision, it broke out like fire, said Senator Doug Mastriano, calling it unconscionable and unacceptable, and adding that Levine needs to be held accountable for that awful decision. Yeah, that's not going to happen. This is government. Nobody's ever held accountable. They get promoted. Most of the bad decisions that you see occur are not actual bad decisions per se. They serve the global elite's agenda. You just don't know what that agenda is, so it looks like a bad decision to you. And then you wonder why all those people that make those seeming bad decisions get promoted. Well, this is why. Because they're serving someone else's agenda. And while you don't know why they did what they did and you just think it was a fuck up, they're actually doing what they're being told. And then they get rewarded with a promotion, like this dude. So Levine also drew criticism in May 2020 as Pennsylvania's health secretary when he, I'm not going to call him a she, removed her 95-year-old mother from a personal care home during a surge of cases in nursing homes, according to Pennsylvania Live. Oh, that's precious. While I am shuttling COVID patients to a nursing home near you to kill your grandmama. These are the people actually responsible for killing grandma. Not you, because you didn't wear a mask. She took her own mother out of a nursing home. Excuse me, he. That's great. So this person acknowledges the threat to nursing home residents by pulling his own mother out of the personal care home she was in because COVID patients were being shuttled into it. And then acts like he did nothing wrong. That's great. Oh, that is great. A health department spokeswoman who declined to name the facility said Levine and her children, you mean his children, were notified of residents who tested positive and lived near the personal care home, which is why he pulled his mother out. Even though the only excuse that this person could have for putting COVID patients into nursing homes would be ignorance. But you can't claim ignorance when you're pulling your own mother out because of the threat that you're clearly acknowledging because you're pulling your mother out. Levine noted that her mother was in a personal care home, not a nursing home. What the fuck's the difference? And that the facility was under the... You still clearly knew that older people were more at risk than younger ones when you were putting COVID patients into nursing homes with old people. And that the facility was under the jurisdiction of the State Department of Human Services, not her own agency. And what are you trying to do? Muddy the waters? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? You acknowledged the threat, so you clearly weren't ignorant of it, so you can't make an excuse that you were ignorant of the threat when you put people into fucking nursing homes who were COVID infected. A graduate of Harvard and of Tulane Medical School. Oh boy. Yeah, it's oftentimes the case that idiots have great credentials. Levine is president of the Association of State and Territorial Health Officials. He was appointed to his current post by Democratic Governor Tim Wolf. See, I called it. Libtard. In 2017, making him one of the few transgender people serving in elected or appointed positions in the U.S. Do you notice that whenever they're talking about a transgender person, they use a lot more pronouns than they would if they were referring to the person by their actual gender? Just wanted to point that out. She won past confirmation by the GOP majority Pennsylvania senator and has emerged as the public face of the state's response to the coronavirus pandemic. That would explain why it was so bad and why so many old people died. Levine joins Biden's Health and Human Services Secretary nominee Xavier Becerra. Is that also a tranny? A Latino politician. Oh, it's white. No white people allowed. Weren't there any white people? Shouldn't the choice statistically be white? Isn't still something like 67% of the country white? I don't know. How many Latino people are there in America? Is it more than black people? Probably, because they've been coming in for so many decades illegally and popping out their anchor babies that, yeah. Is it maybe 15% of the population? So are you telling me that 15% of the population has a larger pool than 67% of the population? It's just statistically not possible. The most qualified person would be a white person, statistically speaking. Oh, but no! Gotta hire a tranny? And a Latino broad! Oh, yeah, of course. No white people allowed. Lovely, lovely. Oh, but you're the party of tolerance. And you're not a racist at all, right? Oh, Lord. So, let's take a look at this creature. Okay, this creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's take a look at Mr. Levine as he looks today. And I'm not going to say she. I'm not going to use their pronouns. That is perhaps one of the ugliest dudes I've ever seen. That is one of the ugliest dudes I've ever seen. What are those? Is that real hair? Is that a wig? What is that? You think that's real hair? Or is that horse hair? What is that? Horrible hair, by the way. By the way, dude, you should go. It might be real hair. I do see gray at the roots. Okay, yeah. You need to pay a little more attention to your appearance, dude. That's one ugly mullet. Go get your roots dyed. Horrific. Oh, look at this globulous mess with those four chins. Oh, my God. That's a broad, huh? Yeah, I don't think so. All right, so let me know what you think in the comment section of Mr. Progressive Biden's choice for Pennsylvania. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Pennsylvania physician. How'd this person get to be a doctor? This must be one of those late life conversions, right? I don't know. Maybe this person just had a nervous breakdown and eventually got tired of the depredations and humiliations and the difficulties of being a dude and just decided, you know what? I can't beat him, so I'm going to join him. Maybe this person was normal for the majority of their life. I don't know. Kind of hard to believe, though. I mean, this is a pretty radical shift from being a dude doctor most of your life to becoming a dudette. In a position with a lot of stress. Maybe the person just couldn't handle that stress. I don't know. Speculation aside, this is a very mentally ill individual. I would not want this person having anything to do with the state's health care. Never, ever, ever. And yet, unfortunately, that's what we got. The least qualified people, and statistically that's got to be the case because the pool being drawn from is so small, there's no way you're going to find the most qualified person. So get the least qualified people being put into positions of power and authority based solely on identity politics. Oh, we need a tranny, we need an Indian, we need a black person, we need a Latino. We don't need an Asian. They got privilege now. They didn't used to have privilege, but, the pesky fact that they do so much better than everybody else in America, including whitey, even though they're the smallest minority in the whole goddamn country, was just blowing our whole identity politics narrative to shreds. So, no Asians. They'll do too well. So, what do we need? A midget? Yeah, got a midget. Okay. Somebody in a wheelchair? Can we get a wheelchair midget? They're going to cover all the bases except whitey. Whitey comes dead last. We need a token white person as well. Well, we can't be too obvious with our racism, so hire a token white person. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like and subscribe to my BitChute channel if you have not already, bitchute.com/The Realist Philosopher. And if you really like what I do, the raw, ripple nature of my content, please consider going and checking out my website, therealistphilosopher.com. That is therealistphilosopher.com, and clicking on the donate button in the upper right-hand corner. Could really use your help.